Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to Pastime Picks Podcast. My name's Keith, Vintage Sport Flips.
And I'm Andy, the King of Pennants.
So what we're going to do this week is we're going to draft our favorite, or in our opinion, the best Super Bowl commercials. And some of them we had talked about, are they truly Super Bowl commercial? I think most of them were, but I mean, we're not holding each other to any kind of strict.
We're not fact checking on this podcast.
Yeah.
On whether they're
exactly. Yeah. But for new people, so we do that, but also throughout the show, we're going to have segments that are geared towards reselling or sports memorabilia. Plus, we'll have a cool giveaway in the live chat as well. So I will show that giveaway in a little bit. But let me get to the comments here. So Andy, it turned out that it was a tight race in the beginning, but I did pull away last week.
What?
I was waiting.
I was waiting on to see what that.
Yeah,
on both sides.
Both sides. Yeah, you had the early lead on YouTube, but I took it at the end.
I'm very confused on that. I did not think you drafted very well.
What's up, Snow? Welcome in, Snow. How's it going?
Yeah, this one. I mean, this is going to be a real. Unlike our previous ones where we had some real like back and forth and kind of almost taking each other's stuff. I'm not sure that that's going to happen here. I think this is going to be purely, you get to pick kind of what you want. I think there's going to be a few that, we'll fight over, but I think for the most part, we're going to be able to pick what we want maybe.
Yeah. It's probably not a ton of competition in this one because it's a lot of preference and there's so many to choose from, I would think, even.
Yeah. I mean, go back to the early 80s, I think, when they really kind of became very popular. So
cool. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, great. Glad you'll be able to hang out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I talked to Snow today about potentially being on an upcoming episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome. For people watching on the replay or anyone else in the chat, definitely check out Go Snow's channel. Great channel. Does a lot of like nostalgia picking. We showcased his channel on our first podcast and in our YouTuber spotlight.
Segment. Yeah, we'll have to figure out what you want to pick if you want to go sports or non-sports type of.
Yeah, we'll chat a little bit more about that. We talked about either like video games or, but we'll talk about it. I'm up for whatever.
Definitely.
What's up, Mark? Oh yeah, Mark won the giveaway last week, so he won the Farrah faucet, pin, and a bunch of wax packs.
It's an attention grabber, I would guess. A conversation starter, no less. But
all right, let's decide.
I think the conversation mostly be why are you wearing a Farrah faucet pin? But that's just
no.
It's really bizarre.
Right, I'm gonna spin this wheel, Andy, to see who picks first.
All right.
So let's see here.
See if you can do 2 weeks in a row, I guess.
This will be the third week in a row, actually. Yeah.
All right, I'm back. I'm back, baby. There we go.
What's up, Collector's Dream? How's it going, man? Thanks for joining us. All right. So let me share this one, Andy. So Andy, you pick first, and as we see here on the draft board, I do have the lead in the podcast overall. This is our 10th episode. And Andy, what they say, I think I've heard a lot of other podcasts talk about. A lot of podcasts don't make it to episode 10.
Oh, really?
So we're already in hallowed ground, I think.
Yeah. Well, okay. Don't oversell it, buddy.
No, I know. But yeah, so I'm 3-2-3. You are 2-3-3. So pretty big lead there. Big lead.
Huge. Okay. There's a couple on here. I think for me, there's one that kind of really epitomized. Problem is there's a lot. There's a couple that I'm fighting over, but I'm going to go with one that kind of came maybe not out of the blue. It's certainly a company that. Oh, by the way, I should tell you my scoring method this week, right? I always have.
Oh, yeah.
A method to score.
Acronym here.
My acronym. So this week I went with a social, timely, interest, notoriety, key score, or STINK.
Social time. Okay. So what is it? Social, timely,
interest, notoriety, key score. So it's just like a socially, whether it was, believe me, I know it wasn't great. I was working on that. It wasn't my best work. But
were you doing any work at work this week other than work on that acronym? In case there's
I can assure you did not take that long to make.
Okay.
But if it's social, if it was a sign of the times, timely, like it kind of hit at the perfect time during, some commercials just kind of hit right when they should. Like there's some more, I would say some older commercials really hit at a specific time that just made it just was really cool. It was perfect timing. And I'll get to that later, perhaps. The interest and notoriety kind of just in terms of, and the key score. So that's a key score.
I think every acronym has had notoriety in the name.
It probably has.
Go back and check the stats.
I'm not going to lie. It ends in a lot of stuff that I want to use. So
yeah.
But okay, all that build up just to say my first one will be from Budweiser, which may have a few on the list. And it's going to be the Budweiser Frogs. And they go Budweiser.
Yeah,
so there you go.
That's a classic one. Yeah,
that's one of my favorites. So I feel like growing up, that was kind of the one that really. There's a bunch. I mean, obviously, I think these commercials are Super Bowl certainly are dominated by 3 or 4 groups or 3 or 4 companies back then. I mean, I think it's come a long way since then. But certainly when we were growing up, I feel like there's probably like 3 or 4 companies that really made that you thought were going to have good commercials.
Yeah, the big budget advertising.
Exactly.
Big advertising budgets for those certain companies, select group of companies. Yeah, so that's a memorable commercial. I went a little different from that. I mean, there's some commercials that people just like. Yeah,
was that on your list? I assume though. Or?
Yeah, it was definitely on my list. Yeah. Okay. But there's some commercials that you're at work and probably like joking about for a few weeks afterwards, right? Like, but this is a little different one. But this is my favorite one. It probably won't be on the top of a ton of lists. I'm going to go with a commercial for Reebok. You remember the Terry Tate office linebacker commercial? That is a classic.
I mean,
that's one of the funniest ones I've seen, and that's the only one that I had made a clip for.
Okay, yeah.
So let me show you that because we can use this for
Reebok. I didn't realize.
We can use this for other things as well.
You want to play games, Gene? Well, when it's game time, it's pay time, baby.
I was close to picking that too. That was the thing. I hope you would have had the reverse for you.
I do have the reverse. Yeah, we'll use that. We'll use that coming up. What's up, Harry? Welcome in, man. Harry has a great YouTube channel, and he's who I met today to buy our. I'll show that in the Find of the Week segment coming up.
Nice.
Yeah, the lizards and the weasels. Is that the same commercial as yours, Andy?
So I mean, another thing that kind of happens in these commercials is they spawn like a series of commercials. So I think that was a later version of it, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, Budweiser had that sort of list that, that they did a bunch of animals and did a bunch of frog stuff and all that. I think they brought them back recently too. But
I'm sure. I think I've
the original. The original is my favorite, I think.
Yeah. What's up, Roman? How's it going?
Hey, Roman.
And Andy, I didn't talk to you about this yet. Well, briefly, I told you previously, but on Roman's Live on Saturday night, my Wi-Fi just crashed. I don't know what happened.
Oh, really?
And I found out this week, Roman, I was talking to my provider, and they said my router has been discontinued. They've been down throttling it. Nice of them to tell me, right? So they down throttled to the point where it wouldn't work. So I actually got a new router in tonight. I'm going to hook that up for tomorrow, but being, I'm in my dining room. So I might get attacked. Yeah.
That's your new digs there.
Yeah, my new digs. And I might get attacked by some cats during the episode or dogs. We'll see. I'm hoping they stay clear. What's up, Cooter Ayev? Thanks for good evening. I don't recognize that name, so welcome in.
LEV? I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that might make it's probably an L. Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So let me get to the segment button here, Andy, and we'll.
Did you put it on the? I don't know if you put it on the list. I guess we can come back to that. But
I did put it on the list. Okay, yeah. Cool. I'll put it up while let me do this. I'll put that up.
Yeah, it's I need a. This is going to be a tough one. I feel to score.
Yeah, for sure.
In terms of people, I'm not sure if really people have a Terry Tate's a good one. I think Budweiser, it's good.
Yeah, good start. I mean, you can't go too wrong with this one.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Sale of the week.
All right. So in this segment, we show each other some of our better sales in the past week. Andy's going to guess mine. I will guess his. The goal for us is to get within 10% of the sales price. But also, we're going to do a giveaway in this segment in the third item. So I'm going to show one. Andy's going to show one. And then on my next item, the third item overall, we're going to have the chat guess, the person closest in the chat to the sales price that you can go over. As long as you're the closest, you're going to get your choice of a giveaway. Yeah. So welcome in, Dan. Welcome in.
Yeah, absolutely. So we invite your numbers to come in because it
absolutely more the merrier. So you're going to get the choice of either the non-sports giveaway, which is I've been giving away a bunch of wax packs, vintage wax packs. So I have a couple of Batman. I'll show these again prior to it. Little Dick Tracy action, pair of Star Trek.
Very cool.
And then a pair of these gruesome greeting cards. Gruesome greeting. You say it, Andy.
Gruesome greeting cards.
Yeah,
is that what it was?
It is. Yeah. And also put a little bit of a throwback bonus in there. I'm putting a pair of Victorian 1880s, 1890s tobacco cards. These are actresses. There's a little, maybe like a little flamenco dancer action there. And this is, Annie's a big fan here of.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Sissy Fitzgerald.
Oh, Sissy,
actress.
Yeah. She's my girl.
He's a big Sissy fan.
Yeah. Some of the finest work done in the Victorian age was.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. She was the Victorian Julia Roberts. More of a modern. You can come up with something better than that. But so you have the choice of that, or you have a choice of the two sports pennants. You get a little USFL double up here. You got Denver Gold and LA Express. So you get your choice of those. So let me get to my first sell of the week.
Roman, would you have allowed? Would you be still saying? What if the Lions were in the Super Bowl? Would you still be giving them calling for Dan Campbell's head? Is my question. Oh, okay.
All right, Eddie. So we got a 1929 Pitt
program?
Versus Penn. Yeah, Pitt versus Penn State football program. So cool graphic on it, nice condition, great color on this guy, right? I mean, beautiful. I'm assuming it's probably a Thanksgiving Day game with the little pilgrim action going on there.
Yeah, very cool. And you said it was 1920s. Is that the
1929? 1929. Okay. So yeah, definitely in the chat, help out Andy because Andy definitely needs some help. He struggles in this segment.
Got this one, boys. I know this one. No, I think because we bought a group of programs from, this was local high school, a well-known one, but that had some programs from like the 30s and stuff like that, which I would assume that even this would be higher than that, but they definitely do well. Those old programs in good condition do well.
It often is going to be dependent on the school too, Andy. The school is the key factor for programs.
For sure. So I will say, just to give you some context of what I did or what those sold for, I want to say that those were 40s or 50s. So this is certainly older, so it would add more, I would assume. But the high school was well known in this area, and I think they sold for roughly $50 per program. So I kind of agree that they're going to be in above that. So I think that's my original thought process. I like Dan's pick.
So we got some good guesses. $39.99 for Beatty, $99 for Roman, $179.99 for Mark, Harry at 44, Dan at 129. Go Snow at 50.
Just so now, this is not for the giveaway, or this is for the giveaway?
No, the giveaway is the next item. My second item. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. I think the good guesses. I do think it's above $100 though, or very, very close to that. So I think Dan's pretty close. Mark, I'm maybe a little high for me. I'll probably say this and I'll be completely off, but I'm gonna go $119.99 as the
$119.99.
He's already smiling. I don't like that. It usually means that he just can't wait to find something to make fun of me for.
Let the celebration begin!
It's not a good start. It's not a good start for the show. What the?
Woo!
Come on now.
I crush it.
I don't like that. Yeah, you got you pretty strong guess there. So let me get over here.
Oh boy, what is that? 120. Oh, you must have taken the offer.
I did take an offer. I think I had it like 139.99. Took an offer on it. Yeah. Andy can tell you, I don't ever price things at an even number. It's always a 99, little 99 action.
It always makes it sound a little bit cheaper.
Beauty Spot, Kipper, my dog in there. Yeah, it'll do a little Kipper action on that one. So Dan nailed it too, right? Dan got us.
He's right 129. Yeah, so
he was in the 10% range for sure.
So, my thought process was pretty good on that, right? Is that, I mean, those programs. If you get like Ohio State, Michigan, or something like that from that, you're probably, several hundred, right? Or at least over 200, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, Pitt's a good program. Penn State's a good program for collectors. Ivy League is like the bottom of the rung for programs, which is surprising because they were the bigger programs as far as better football teams, but their stuff is just a lot more common. But definitely, the Midwestern stuff is a lot rare.
Cool.
All right. Strong start.
Coming out of the box strong.
Disappointed with that.
Why is that? What, you just root against me? Is that what it is?
I do. Yeah, I got all these like losing clips I can play, and
you have very few winners.
Yeah. I don't need many winners.
Yeah, maybe tonight you do. It turns out, I guess I just don't know Pennants very well. I know all your other stuff though. Okay, let me check here. Okay. So this is it's kind of cool. It's not all travel pennants are very interesting or some are kind of lame, I think, but I think some of these travel pennants. So this is probably 1950s, maybe 40s.
Yeah, I'm sure I probably will with this one. This is a hard one to guess here, Dan. So I probably I think he was taunting me, saying I'll get to use a losing clip after this one. So Andy, I see and you got a Native American graphic, which is always cool in the pennant, and that was not uncommon for travel pennants. It was probably a 40s pennant. I know you don't date it in the title. Where did is that like a TP or what's the graphics on there other than the Native American?
I think one of them was like a trading post, the actual trading post.
Okay.
I'd have to.
That's all right. You don't have to get that detail.
There's like a couple, like there's a river, I think, in there and things like that.
River Cell.
They do.
All right. So we got Wisconsin Dells. All right. I know what I would price this at without comping it.
Okay.
I'm going to go with.
Well, do we? How many people? Do we have anybody?
We don't have a guess yet. Yeah. I'll slow play it.
Yeah. Give me your thought process.
Native American is always a little a key for me when I sell pennants. Because people like the history of their area, right? They'll assuming most of the areas of our country had like a Native American history. People like to celebrate that, and plus you get just certain areas that like to collect their particular pennants. Wisconsin Dells. I know that I've sold a lot of Wisconsin Dells pennants before. Yeah, we have a lot of guesses. So 34, 54, 79, 59, 99, and 45. So I'm everybody's
in that range. It's I feel like we are doing a service. Maybe people are going to be stealing our pennant business soon.
Yeah. The pennants are a good thing to be on the lookout for pickers out at flea markets for sure. This might be a slow seller, but they sell easy. They're easy to ship, and they sell well. I'm going to guess $39.99.
All right.
That's how I would price it. Maybe you took an offer after that, but I would go $39.99.
All right.
Let the celebration begin.
Yeah. I knew it was good when you had to search for a winner. The losers are everywhere over there on the board.
So.
I think that's a bonus point.
I don't think so. Point. Listen, we're starting strong today. I don't know that. I promise that we did not tell each other any of these things.
No, not at all. I would never. I love to see Andy lose. I'm sure he likes to see me lose.
And I can't stand Keith, so yeah.
Oh, well, it hurts.
Yeah, no, good. Yeah, I mean, your logic behind that was my guess is like what you're like a travel pen is probably in the $20 to $30 range, and this is probably a nicer, softer version with an Indian graph. Yeah, so that's where it was, and right on the money. You're right though. That was probably been up for a good 8 to 10 months, I would think.
Those are what we call long tail items, but they do sell, and you just got to sit on them, and they're not, take much space up. So that's why I like selling pennants. All right.
Well, all right. 2 for 2. That's not bad.
Yeah, we're starting. That's impressive for us. All right. Let me, this one's a little trickier, and this is the one for the giveaway, everyone. So let me share my screen.
All right. So don't listen to me. I probably don't know what this is.
I have 2 images of this. I'm not sure which one's going to show up better. So let's see how this one looks first. Yeah, that shows up pretty good. I don't know how you zoomed it. Let me see.
Okay. If you click on the thing, you can actually zoom in with your mouse. But
it didn't work for me, but that's all right. That's all right.
Hold Control and zoom it. Yeah, and use the little dial on top of your mouse.
Let me take it closer.
Cricket bat, I assume, with
I would say 1930s cricket bat. And you know what the other guys are called? The little the sticks.
I think I'll know when you say it, but I don't remember. I can't remember off the top.
They're called stumps.
No, I didn't know that.
Now, what I have no idea, that little wood thing that's I don't know if you can see my mouse moving over here. This little guy? You see this little guy?
Yeah. That goes on top of the stumps, I think, doesn't it?
I have no idea what that is. I don't even know what it's called. I don't know what it's called either. Okay. Yeah. The person asked if there's 1 or 2 of them. There's only 1 of them, if that helps in the guessing of the.
Oh, that ruins my. I was thinking of one price, and now I don't. If you only have 2 stump toppers.
A solo stump topper.
Ooh, Harry coming out strong.
So Andy, the closest to the winning bid, which I explained earlier, you get a giveaway choice. You get the non-sport bundle with a bunch of wax packs, including the gruesome greeting cards.
I will tell you, I had somebody won the group that we had a couple weeks ago, and a couple of the I want to say that they were the Batman cards were actually selling for quite a bit.
Oh, hey, I'm getting good giveaways, Andy.
Yeah, 10 to $20 a card or something.
Yeah, hey, listen.
I'm not sure.
I'm good.
I'm not sure it's worth getting them PSA graded or anything.
No. But these guys are cool though. These are, like I said, Victorian 19th century tobacco cards. This one has Sweet Caporal. That's Andy's favorite. Sissy Fitzgerald, as we said earlier.
Right.
Little maybe a flamenco action. I don't know what that is. So you get a choice of that, or you get the pennant choice. 2 USFL pennants.
Probably sell for a fair amount on those pennants.
Yeah.
I know USFL sells pretty well.
I've went on a USFL rant before, Andy. Maybe I'll do that after.
I know you hate them, right? Because they strike your. Are they?
I'll explain in a moment. Not the old. I like that USFL, not the current USFL. But yeah, we got Harry Humstone in at $204.99.
Everybody's trading a
$229.
I don't know. This one throws me for a loop a little bit because I feel like the thought process on this is like a brand new one. I would think is probably not cheap either, right? Like a new cricket bat and all the whole thing.
Yes,
like a nice one is probably not. Is there a ball or anything that comes with it, or is it just the stuff?
There's no ball. Okay. I played cricket once. I was pretty dominant. Pretty dominant. It's a pretty fun game. But yeah,
I think
plus it's pretty heavy too. The shipping was a little chunky.
I think it might be a little more, honestly. I think it's probably in the 300s, if not even more. I'm gonna go 325 on that. 324.99 on this.
324.99.
I just feel like it's. I mean, now that I think about it, I think it's probably under that, but
we'll just go with your guess. Right.
Yeah. Okay. You already have something teed up, don't you?
No, I don't. I'll find something now.
Yeah. I mean, my thought was just that I feel like it's probably expensive even to buy it brand new.
That's true. I'm sure it probably is, right? Let me give you your answer.
To the top rope with Shane McMahon out on the ladder.
All right.
The world is right again. It was a little.
Oh, all right.
It didn't perform as well as some of the guesses. Now, I will say that Dan. Let me get back to my comments. Hold on. Dan nailed my asking price. I had this up pretty high for a while. I had it at the $299.99, and I was going back and forth with someone. I took a very low offer off of that, but again, this was.
I was right. Space. I was pretty close.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, the selling prices will count, Danny, not the asking price, right? But
so it looks like it's Mark. Mark the winner?
I think Mark again. I think Mark took it again. Yeah.
Mark,
that's Mark. Did Mark win last week or was it the week before?
I don't know. Mark's.
Mark, you won last week. That was a fair faucet, right?
You're single-handedly funding part of his business now.
Yeah.
His resale business.
Oh, yeah. Mark, you mean. Yeah. Hey, Mark, I don't know if he's a reseller. He might just be a collector.
Oh, well, either way.
But yeah, Mark, so congratulations. Yeah, let me know if you like the non-sport bundle or the pennant bundle. No Farrah Fawcett this week, but Sissy Fitzgerald was the Farrah Fawcett of the 19th century.
We'll get a Cheryl Teague for you next week, right? Let's try to think
we might have one. I don't even know.
Probably. All right. Well done. Good guess. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. I have a couple more to do, but I want to put this one up right now. Let me just share this. I told Keith that I had something that was kind of interesting that I think he'll like. And he'll probably recognize this pretty quickly.
All right, yeah. So yeah, that's funny because I'm shocked that was sold.
You just got another one, right?
Well, I did. It's in my video, and I bought one, but to be honest, I don't know where the hell I put it. I haven't found it since I bought it. That's occasionally that happens when you have inventory everywhere and like a massive death pile. But this is a rare pennant that they.
Well, you can talk about
No, but yeah, you gave me the background on it. And Mark, let me know. You don't have to let me know right away, but let me know which giveaway you'd like. Your choice there.
Well, no, I'll let you talk about it. I know there's it's like the pre. What is it? USF? Not USFL.
It's a minor league. It was a semi-pro minor league in the 60s. Now I forget if you list both ACFL and Continental Football League. They're two different leagues, but maybe the Panthers played in both.
Yeah.
The Atlantic Coast Football League and then the Continental Football League, but you don't see their stuff. And I've sold a lot of stuff for both leagues. I remember what I asked you we talked about you pricing this at, but I know it was also listed a while.
I don't remember. Okay. I don't remember that you told me what to list. I know we talked about it some, but it was, and I knew that you just got one, right? Didn't you just get the same exact one?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. All yours, Mark. Thank you. I did. Yeah. Same pennant.
All right. Dan's coming in with $29.99.
Yeah. So it's a rare pennant, but it's also the kind of thing that sometimes rare isn't, as we talked about before, it doesn't always equal value, right? You need you need a buyer out there, or you need a group of buyers.
Right.
But I do think it's going to come in higher than what we're guessing here. I know I've sold some Atlantic Coast Football League, like Firebirds pennants for a couple $100. I think we talked about this one. Us asking $199.99 on it, I believe.
I don't know. I can't remember what you asked.
That's all right.
What we said back then, but
I mean, it's been up a while because we listed this early on in the 30,000 pennant buy.
Yeah, this is probably within the first month or two, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
It's also, I will say, another interesting part about this is that as opposed to the other pennants that we have in this pile, this is a soft pennant. Like it's I don't want to say it's flimsy, but it's very soft.
Yeah, for whatever reason, pennants from that league were. Yeah, they're almost like a throwback style pennant from the 30s, right? Based on the felt. All right, I'm gonna guess 145. 145 is my guess.
All right.
Trying to see. Oh man!
Oh boy!
Oh, come on!
He is knocking it out of the park today, guys.
Oh my god, this is unbelievable! Yeah. Unbelievable! I'm gonna have to lay some bets on the Super Bowl. with my performance here.
Yeah. Well, I think we even went. I think we were as high as like $249 on this.
We might have been $249.99 now that I said that. Yeah.
And I think what ended up happening was a couple of these things that we had put up kind of early weren't selling, and we had lowered the price on some of them. But this one, I think we then lowered the price down to $144.99. It sold. Somebody bought it.
Oh, really?
Somebody actually contacted me about this and said, "Hey, if you were ever in the I like the pennant, but if you can get down to like 80 or something," and I think I said not right now, but in hindsight, I was even thinking about doing that, so just to kind of move some inventory. But there you go.
Yeah, man.
I don't like that he's
I'm a two
for two.
Right,
that's
and
probably
a penny off overall. I mean, I'm just on fire today.
That's as good as I've seen you in a while, unfortunately. I mean, the pennants are tough. The more expensive when you have some room to breathe. You nailed both of them on the money, but the ones that are like come in at like $15, you have $1.50 price range, which is not easy. So
yeah,
but all right,
feeling strong.
Nobody likes a gloater.
No, I'm not gloating. But by the way, let me just explain my quick USFL rant, Andy. I won't take long with this. But for resellers, I sell all kind of football memorabilia, and I had a bunch of my USFL pennants pulled down off of Etsy based on like a violating like a Vero claim, basically, right? But a Vero claim from the new USFL, which has no connection to the original USFL.
Yeah.
In fact,
they
just stole the name. The original USFL actually sued the current USFL for using its name, using the team names. That went through the legal system. I think it was ended up being thrown out of court for some reason. So I couldn't believe this crappy league that nobody wants to watch.
They had the gall to come back.
Yeah, the gall to take my stuff off of Etsy when it's the real USFL that people watch back then. And to the point where I actually called or emailed the lawyer.
Left a very strongly worded email.
I emailed the lawyer who represented the original USFL in that lawsuit. I'm like, hey, just so you know, not only did they screw you guys, they pulled my stuff off of Etsy, when they don't even own it. It's not even their rights. So obviously didn't get much of a response from that. I did get a response. I did get a response. They were going to forward it to but I was that made me feel better. But so that's
one thing you got to know about Keith is he's very vindictive, and
that's not vindictive. Yeah, come on.
Once you score him, he is like
I don't
out for blood.
I don't forgive lightly, like the 49ers. They're dead to me for life.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's jump
back to the draft. So, all right. I'm going to go with more of a classic one. And this is one for me remember growing up. And this is not like a funny commercial. They probably weren't even great commercials, but I remember looking forward to these when I was very young. And these might have been like mid 80s. I was 10 years old, I guess. And there was a series of these. I'm taking the whole series, Andy. Taking the series.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
You'll allow it. I'm going to go with the Bud Bowl.
Oh, okay.
The Bud Bowl back in the day. Because there was they did one every year. They weren't really, the commercials weren't funny. They weren't great, but I remember looking forward to them as a kid.
Yeah. Bud Bowl was awesome. That was on my list. That's part of it is like when we were talking about this, like I said, it was dominant. I want to say Budweiser dominated a lot of the commercials. It probably still does. I think people look forward to the Budweiser commercials. Yeah. Even this day. That's a good one. I think that definitely predated the Budweiser Frogs. I want to say that. Yeah, that was probably in the 80s, right?
I'm sure it's 80s. I would think it's like mid to late 80s. And I don't know how long they did. I remember they had 1, 2, 3.
I do, but I definitely. It must have been in like mid 80s too, because I remember that they had a giant beer bottle that was like the refrigerator, right?
Oh yeah. That was like yep. That was 86 then, so it must have been.
Yeah, it was like a 22-ounce bottle, which was
I'm gonna look it up while you're talking. First aired in 89 in the early 90s too. Yeah.
And maybe it's just that they kind of caught up to it or something. Then I guess it was still on people's minds then. So
yeah.
All right, good pick. That one actually was when we were talking. That was a late ad for me. I kind of forgot about that one, but that was good. All right, I'm going to go with. I think this one predates yours, actually. In fact, I'm quite sure it does. And this is I don't know if everybody remembers this, but for me, like when I think of a Super Bowl commercial, like this is what I think about. Like, I don't know why it was funny, but it didn't had nothing to do with sports or anything. And that's Where's the Beef from Wendy's.
Yeah.
And I don't know if some of you guys might not be old enough. Maybe you guys are. If you remember Where's the Beef, though, that was a classic commercial where it's just this old lady that's going into a thing and she just, Where's the beef? I mean, like after that commercial, people were just saying that. It was kind of came part of the vernacular.
The one I was watching, getting ready for this, there was like 3 old ladies, right, or older ladies. I don't know if that's the original one or there's they did it each year. I remember that. It's a Wendy's commercial, right, Andy? Wendy's commercial.
Wendy's.
Basically, they were saying like these other burger places, they don't give you any beef. Right. That's the premise of that. Yeah. I
think it was because they had the square patty or something too. Anything like that. But
okay. Maybe it's not sticking out the sides. I get that. All right.
So yeah, that was a classic one. And I know that was a Super Bowl one too.
Yeah, definitely.
For some reason, it was just random. But all right, I think we're starting strong. I'm surprised. Was that on your list? I assume or no?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, okay. Definitely.
I was a little wondering if it was going to actually, be on both our lists, but
so far I think we all are. I mean, everything is on both lists. Yeah. So that's and it's sort of funny. The earlier ones, they weren't as funny as the late 90s, 2000s kind of commercials, but they were still iconic. I mean, that was a funny one.
Yeah, I think I know that there was always that mystique over the Super Bowl commercials, but I do think that kind of gathered steam to the point. I think it's calmed down a little bit. I think people are still doing that, but I think once it hit like, it's a 30-second ad is $1 million, which is probably in the, I don't know, late 90s or 2000s. Like that's when it became a thing.
Put more effort into it.
Yeah.
All right. So in this segment, for people new to the show here, we're going to go through a piece of sports memorabilia. I'm going to go through a piece of sports memorabilia just to explain this is something to look out for and explain about something. So in this episode, let me grab these guys. These are something called a technograph plaque. And Andy, I don't know if you found any of these in our garage buy, but these were plastic, like 3-dimensional helmet plaques that were put out in the mid 1960s. And you can see they did all the NFL teams. They came in two sizes. You have the bigger guy and the little guy. The little guy is much rare, but they both sell pretty well. I would say these guys are in the $75 to $100 kind of price range on these.
Teams count, I assume.
What were we saying?
I said teams count.
Yeah, it's some teams better than others. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And then here, you never see this guy right here, Andy. Original packaging. Yeah, packaging. And there's one rare from this set there's actually 2 rare ones. Let me get these. This is a little 3-dimensional one by the same company. These came in like little gumball containers. They would fold up in a gumball container. I'm assuming they cut down the smaller ones to make these. Maybe they had excess stock and they put them in gumball. These are extremely rare.
And I wouldn't even known with that big going up.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they also did make some baseball ones. This is the San Francisco Giants. I think these are only like a test issue, so you don't really see these ever show up. But I had a group of these. This is the last one I have. I think I actually sold it a long time ago and couldn't find it and refunded that seller. And then I found it. So I still got to go back and relist it.
How much would that one go for?
Roughly? I think they bring like $40 for the baseball ones. Yeah. I don't know why they don't bring as much as the football ones, but definitely something to be on the lookout for. You can find them cheap. They're somewhat fragile. But if you find them, definitely they're quick sellers.
I want to say that we may have had 1 or 2 of those, but they definitely were broken or destroyed by the time we got a hold of them. So
I know there was one in our garage by a Rams one that sold. I think that's sold.
Okay.
Or no, maybe it's still in my warehouse in the inventory. Let's see. Oh, Mark, I appreciate that, Mark. Yeah, thank you. See, he just bought something from our eBay store, and the giveaway will go. So it saves me the shipping. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. So the Technograph, the Fleer put them out. So there was they call that a test issue, right, Mark? I believe that's what that's called.
Very cool.
So yeah, so that's something to be on the lookout for. So that's our memorabilia deep dive segment. But I haven't seen, Tim's not here, right? I know it's Tim's birthday today. So Andy, if you see Tim in the chat, let me know.
I will do that. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Keep an eye on sport.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let me get back to the draft board.
All right, let's see.
All right. I'll get rid of that so you can see the screen. So we have the last two picks, Bud Bowl and Where's the Beef? And Andy,
I feel like we're kind of in the past on some of the, not past, but like we're
well, that's nostalgia. It's always going to be nostalgia. Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking, trying to think what I should do here. All right. I think this one is, there's two on my list from the same company that I really like. I'm going to go with this one because it's a little bit weirder and a little bit funnier, I think. And that's the Doritos Baby Out of the Womb commercial. Do you remember that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. This is a kind of a classic one, I think. Definitely a Super Bowl commercial. And for those that haven't seen it, I would highly recommend Googling it. Doritos recently has done some good stuff. I feel like they're, along with Budweiser, maybe a few others, have kind of taken over in terms of good commercials. So this one was just a Doritos commercial. I forget if it was for a specific kind, but it was this woman who was on the I guess she was getting an ultrasound or something, and they were looking at the baby on the screen, and he has a Dorito. And do you remember this?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the ultrasound. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the baby starts following the Dorito like all around and stuff. And he starts like lifting it up, and it smacks her in the belly and stuff like that. Headbutts her stomach and stuff. And then she grabs a Dorito from him and throws it kind of between her legs, and then you just
I don't remember that. I don't remember that detail of it. I gotta find it again.
Oh, that's the best part. I mean, not best part.
When was that from? What was that? How old's that?
That's probably, I mean, it's definitely 2000s. I mean, I think it's probably maybe 2010 or something like that.
Dan like that.
Yeah,
he said he's watching that right now.
That's pretty classic. I have to check to see Doritos when it was, but I want to say 2005 or something. Maybe even older than that. 2016, I think, is when it was actually. So a little later than I thought, but
yeah.
There you go.
That's a good one. On mine, there's definitely some older ones that are cool and more people talk about more. But I think this one's pretty funny, and this is like a great classic comedian, female comedian who unfortunately passed away within the past year, I think. But I'm going to go with the Betty White Snickers commercial. Remember that one, Andy?
That's a good one. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. With her, first of all, you got Betty White get nailed with a tackle into the mud, into a mud puddle, right? Yeah. And then she's going after the guy's mother. I forget the details of what she said. Something about, that's what I said to your mother last night.
Yeah. So that's not what I said about you. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's always, I know that those series of commercials are pretty funny in general. Then they have a Snickers bar and they're back to like an 18-year-old kid playing mud football. But those are pretty funny ones.
Yeah, I can't remember if that was the first one that was definitely the most memorable and the best one. Then I want to say they've even still done it, right? I mean, I don't know when the Betty White came out. It was in the last 5 years though, right?
I think so. Yeah. It was probably 5 years ago
but they've said certainly that's been a constant or one that they've continued to go forward.
Oh, absolutely. They go back to the well with that. And they're always good. I mean, I think some of the better commercials still.
Yeah. Always they do a good job for sure.
It's like an umpire making a horrible call. I forget what the details of some of the other ones, but
yeah. No, that was a good line of commercials that they did that they've definitely milked for quite some time now. But yeah, good one. All right.
So Andy, so what do you? So now we got the round 3. We're pretty strong board, and I think Andy, you probably agree that I'm dominating this board as I've dominated the sales of the week. Would you agree with
board?
that?
No.
Yeah.
I honestly, this is the problem with this because I think all 6 of those.
No, I agree.
Probably interchangeable, and I think it's all dependent on what people like.
Yeah, for sure. That's right. Yeah. I agree with you. I was just joking with that.
I know.
Yeah. So that's we're a nice board there, and I think we're trying to move a little quicker tonight because Andy has an early meeting. I think you had said, so that's why we're making some good time here.
Yeah. This is too feeling, Dan. That's what I'm saying. This is really kind of a preference thing. And with this, there's a lot of commercials. I think we've probably nailed so far 6 are probably the most. So the most kind of known. But there's other ones that I think people probably love too. And there's tons of them. I would say the last couple of years, I don't think that the quality of commercials been quite as good, but the heyday is kind of, I think, a few years ago. But yeah, definitely.
I haven't seen commercials in a couple of years. I don't really. I mean, I like that. Even in general, I don't watch commercials much anymore because I'm always on YouTube. But it's Super Bowl. I see some of them.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
I almost feel like they come out now too. Like they come out before the Super Bowl, which I think kind of defeats the purpose of it. I kind of hated it. I don't like that they do that. But
all right, cool. Let me get to a segment here.
So,
let me do this. Let me get to this segment.
Throwing me off here, buddy.
Yeah, I almost had a change of plans.
Find of the week.
All right. So in this segment for new people, so we go through a find that we've made this week. Andy sometimes will have finds of the week. He doesn't necessarily go picking. I brought him into reselling with a death pile that we could fill a couple trucks with. So he could pick in his garage in the death pile, and he does that on occasion for the show. But my find this week was actually a find I made this afternoon, but actually it's a find that Harry Humstone in the chat made this past week. I believe it was within the past week, and that was a group of Eagles programs, Andy. These are. Let me show you these guys.
Oh boy, you probably.
I was watching his video, and I'm like, I saw him buy a group of these programs, and I was telling him today I barely could watch to the end of the video before I was sending a message to him on Instagram and a message in the chat. But because I collect all things Eagles, and these are 1933 Eagles programs, Andy.
Wow.
You know the significance of that at all?
Was that the first year that they were the Eagles and not a different team name?
Yeah, that's the first year of the Eagles in general.
Okay.
The Eagles
came from like the maroon, not like kind of combination of a couple, right?
Close. The Frankfurt Yellow Jackets were the professional football team in Philadelphia prior, but they went bankrupt in 1931. So the Yellow Jackets didn't become the Eagles necessarily. They went bankrupt. They were out of the league. Bert Bell came in 1932 and paid the Yellow Jackets back debt and was awarded the NFL franchise and then named them the Philadelphia Eagles. So they weren't really the same franchise, but they're both Philadelphia pro football teams.
So how much did he pay to do that? Do you remember? It's probably like $150 or something crazy.
I think it was a few thousand. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a few thousand. I mean, you mean Bert Bell paid? You mean
yeah.
So there's 3 of these. So, and I'm trying to complete the run. And I have before this, I had 6 of the 10 games from the first year.
I see.
So this one I already have. This is Eagles versus the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Interesting.
So this one's a cool one. This is actually beautiful condition. It might be a better condition than one I have, but this is actually their first home win ever. They weren't very good that first year, but this is the first game they've won as a home game. And then we have this one I don't have. This one's in rough shape. The cover's missing or loose, but Eagles versus Chicago Bears.
Okay, so it's all the same cover, just the different.
Different games.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then Eagles versus New York Giants. Now, the first game the Eagles ever played in their existence was against the Giants, but that was a road game earlier in the season. So I had that program too. So that's one of the ones I have. But very excited to pick them up. As I was telling Harry, I know a couple other collectors trying to get 33 programs that I'll probably try to trade the ones that I already have. They're duplicate, and we'll see what I can work out there. But very excited to add. Of all the picking I do, my favorite picking is when it's stuff from my own collection. So
yeah. Just I think there's a question. Yeah, you're keeping some of those at least, right? Maybe, and then trading for others if you can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't sell anything where it's like the item that I don't have. If it's a duplicate, I'll sell it or trade it. And again, I think that the Pirates one might be a better condition than what I have, so I got to pull them out and study them. But 33.
I mean, you don't collect every single Eagles thing. It's I would say significant pieces, right, or historical stuff. Right. I mean, you're not trying to collect one of everything ever produced by the Eagles. Like
no.
Right.
Yeah, so, you're right. You're right. Did I say that?
No. But I'm just saying, like you'll sell like duplicates of things that have significance or worth collecting. Probably, I would say.
Yeah.
But you're not like some weird warehouse guy that's putting every single thing that ever created. At least not yet. I think you still have room to grow.
Yeah, my collection has always been focused on programs and tickets, game used jerseys, helmets, and footballs, then some of the other vintage memorabilia, game used footballs, buttons, pennants. I think that's like probably the main thing that I collect.
Yeah.
And I probably at some point will try to collect every program that they ever made up until like through the 60s, I would say. Mm-hmm. Because I think every Steagles program, 33, I'm nearly complete. And I have like a ton of programs from the 30s. Tickets are actually tougher. The earlier tickets are tougher than programs for whatever reason. So
yeah, very good.
Yeah. So thanks, Harry. If you're still in the chat, appreciate that.
I was gonna say you don't have to tell us the price, but what can we expect if we were looking to try to find? If I was trying to collect a Detroit Lions program from that, because they're similar to. I mean, they're one of the first teams too.
Yeah, I would say like probably 400 per program for like first year programs. A first game is going to be a lot more. I think that I got lucky with the first game. It showed up on eBay as a buy it now. Oh. And I just hopped on it. And I bought a bunch of other programs from the same person. Because I'm sure if it would have sat there, it would have been a $3,000 program. Mm. But yeah.
Very cool.
And I have the first ticket too, but that's against a Frankfurt team, like a preseason game.
Gotcha. All right. Is it back to you? I'm trying to think. It must be.
Yeah, let me find it.
I think.
Yeah, it is back to me because I picked Betty White, right?
Yeah. Yep. We're on the turn for you.
Yeah. All right. Let me see. This is a little trickier now.
Yeah, there's some ones that I think aren't as widely known that we may. I think now it gets in the part where like, do you remember this or? This stuck out in your mind. There's a couple that are good, but
the one that I didn't necessarily love this commercial. I mean, they did it
good
a
start.
lot.
Good start.
No, you'll see my point, my rationale. I mean, it was good, but people would like replicate this much too much.
Oh, I don't know what it is.
I'm going with the "What's up?" The Budweiser commercial. I mean, it was good. It was great when it was on, but probably you got the annoying friend who would just say that much too much, right? I'm talking about you, Andy.
I never said that.
No, I'm just joking.
Very
just
nice
joking.
I'm just joking. Yeah, no, Budweiser had a way of like it was the same thing with Budweiser, like the frogs too. Like it was just as annoying, honestly.
Yeah,
Maybe What's Up was probably the most annoying because you're right. I mean, it was. For probably 6 months or a year after that stupid commercial, it was just like that's all anybody did.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know why I know this, but I want to say I don't know if there's professional wrestler fans in that are following or watching, but I want to say that there was like some professional wrestler guy that used to do that. Like he would jump off the top rope and he'd be like, "What's up?" And it's like, yeah, it was horrible. It's like
we got to ask
like,
Rod if Rod pops in. If
Okay.
Rod pops in, we have to ask Rod because Rod, I was on his live last night. He was a professional wrestler. So
oh, really? Yeah, I think
he would know.
He was a Dudley boy, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway,
He was an ECW boy. Is that what you said?
Dudley is the name of like
Dudley. Okay, he'll know.
Yeah, but
I don't
that used to be his thing. All right, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to probably double up on Budweiser. That was on my list for sure. I mean, Bud and / Budweiser's had 3 or 4 on my list. So
yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go with one that I think is very recent. Not very, but it's definitely more recent than certainly what you've been picking and most of what I've been picking. And that's the Tide ad. Do you remember? Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's on my list. If it's the same one, let's say I had 2 of them. Yeah. It was hysterical.
Yeah. The Tide ad is one that David Harbour, I think is his name. He's a guy from Stranger Things. Most people know him from that. Is that one you're thinking of or no?
I want to hear I don't know the actor. So
okay.
Who's the which
Have you
guy
watched
from
Stranger Things?
Yeah, I love Stranger Things, but which guy from that show?
The old guy, like the
one who raises the girl.
The sheriff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So the Tide ad basically was a series, I guess, of ads, and I can't remember exactly how it was played out, but I think it may have been for like 5 minutes straight, where they basically just copied every other like popular advertisement going on, and it wasn't like necessarily just Super Bowl ads they were copying. It was like, I don't know. I feel like they had ones for like feminine products. They had like, and then he would just pop in and say, "Nope, it's a Tide ad. It's a Tide ad." They had the guy from the guy that rides the horse that was doing the what was it? It was like roll on deodorant. I can't remember the one that they were doing. They also do crazy commercials as well.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Not
the body spray or Axe, not Axe.
No, it's not Axe, but it's the whatever it is. But yeah, basically he just goes through, and I think it's each time you think it's done. Old Spice. Thank you.
There you go.
Exactly. So each time you think it's over, he pops in. It was Mr. Clean at one point. He's like, "Nope, still Tide," or something like that. It's a great commercial.
What do I call this on the board?
I would say still Tide ad. David, yeah, this might play against me because people aren't going to know. Like some of these are just like widely known.
Yeah, I mean, people will know.
But yeah, this is a great. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking it out on YouTube.
That's the one I was thinking of, so I'll check it out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is the best Tide. I didn't see another Tide one, but.
Well, speaking of the Denny Green one that Roman's talking about, did you see they got the playoffs out there again on the commercials? I don't know what it's for. I forget.
Right. I think it's like for DraftKings or something. You're talking about with Kevin Hart.
Maybe it is. Yeah.
He's that was Kevin Hart does a bunch of them. Like he did one with Ryan Fitzpatrick, the quarterback. That's and stuff like. Fitzmagic, anyway.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. So I do yourself a favor and check it out, though. It's a great commercial. I think that's going to hurt me, though, now that I think like nobody's because it's going to be tough to sort of.
I think people have seen it. That was not the one I was thinking of. There's a different one. All right, let me get to a segment.
Sale of the week.
All right. So, and it was going through our second round of sales here. Let me.
You going first on this one?
I'll go first. Do you have one?
I do. Yeah, I have one more we can do.
Okay.
It's a little different than what we've been doing, but
that's cool. Let me just try to find this because there's.
Do you want to go first?
No, I'll be all right. I just put them out of order so much. It's like. There we go. Okay, I got it. All right. So I know you're a bat specialist, Andy. You always do well in the bat category. So
you always throw out these bats, I swear. I never.
So what this bat is, and I've sold a lot of these over the years, but this is a Mickey Mantle Pro Stock bat right? But not game used by Mickey Mantle. It's like a bat that it's his model bat, but it's made for, in this case, Hudson Valley College, or maybe it's Hudson Valley Community College.
Okay.
And I had these a lot for like Brooks Robinson, Mickey Mantle. I've had several of them. So it's a cool bat because it's like I said, pro stock. It's his model. I mean, it says K55 on the knob end, which that's always a shot of being a game used bat. But obviously, he wouldn't have used this one.
Yeah.
So people like it for that reason.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that makes it. When you say pro stock, it's the one that's kind of given out to teams rather than being able to buy off the shelf, is what you're saying, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Made for a player, made in his. Yeah. Exactly. You couldn't buy this in a store.
So this was like mid to late 50s or something like that, or
yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think it's early 60s, actually. Early 60s.
Okay. This is these bats. I feel like I never know anything on these, so they're all over the place for me. Dan's coming in hot. That's $2.99. Good. I don't know. I feel like I need a. Mark's been picking pretty damn well, so I may need to stick near Mark. No, Dan. Honestly, I don't either.
I mean, to give you a hint on this, I mean, these are not in the same stratosphere as a game used Mickey Mantle bat, right?
Of course.
But they're better. They're a little bit better than a store model bat. So
Okay.
I would say that, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because I think they're. I mean, and probably not in the same stratosphere as that one bat that you showed us that one time when it was,
Not
that's
near
my
that.
guess. What's that?
Yeah. Not near that one for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
The other thing too that hurts this one a little bit is the school. I mean, it's like a community college. If you get like Penn State, then you get like, how many Penn State alumni out there are buying stuff? So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think Roman and Harry are in kind of where I would be. Honestly, I'm going to split the difference between those two. I'll go 185.
185.
Yeah.
And plus shipping, of course. This isn't including shipping.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think it could be a little higher because you said it's a pro model, but yeah. I kind of have a feeling that there are at least a fair amount of these out there. What is that? That's the worst one.
You don't like that one?
Oh, okay.
These are cheaper bats. Yeah. Again, if it was like I said, Penn State, I would have it up in that kind of price range. But
okay,
yeah. But still something cool to find if you to look for. If you find them, they do sell. They just don't sell for like, a Mantle game bat is, like I said, different stratosphere.
I like that you said Mickey Mantle. Then, well, you said Hudson Valleys too, but game used bat. That's interesting. Does that sell quickly? Yeah. No, I got you.
It did sell quick.
Mickey Mantle game used, but yeah.
Yeah, it did sell quick. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I was started strong, guys. I don't know what happened. I kind of sometimes you throw. I gotta remember though that you do have a tendency to stagger your prices from high to low. All right.
No, I didn't. But I think last time I had I'm trying to vary the numbers a little bit, right?
Yeah. No, I got you. All right. I'm going to bring something up here.
Anyway, while you're bringing that up, let me just show, because I don't think I know Tim. Dan, you know this. It's Tim's 40th birthday today, and I assume Tim was not going to be here tonight. I mean, I wouldn't be here tonight if it was my 40th birthday, right?
Yeah. Well, can't go back 10 years now, so I can't.
Come on, not 10. Come on now. But I made this for Tim, so let me play this.
No.
I know Tim's a big dinosaur fan. For people in the chat to know, Tim is he's like, would you call it like a dinosaur truther? Is that like a phrase?
He just doesn't believe that dinosaurs existed?
Yeah, he thinks it's they were like just a ruse or like
Gotcha.
I didn't send it to him yet, Dan. I didn't say I will send it to him. Yeah. So yeah, but he doesn't believe it. He believes it's sort of like a lie told to little children from day one, and they, it's
like Santa. He's
Santa,
comparing Santa and dinosaurs.
They put these bones together randomly to create something. It was you got to watch the reseller draft on Monday night just to get to the point where he has like a 2-minute rant on dinosaurs. It's great. All right, definitely. Happy birthday, Tim. And everyone go over to Tim's channel over the years and throw a happy birthday, Tim, over there.
All right, here we go.
So double up.
So double up, a little combo. But they're two of this very similar teams. So
that's what he says, Andy. He says he believes in dragons more than dinosaurs.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
So I can't.
What do you think?
It's hard to say. I got Jay Novacek and I got Daryl Johnston. Is that what it is?
Zoom in a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So are these sold to the same person?
Yes.
All right. And that's sort of funny because I bought a pair of Cowboys caricature pennants on Sunday. They were going to be a sale the find of the week before I found a much better team find today with Harry. So am I guessing the price total for both?
Yeah, total for both. Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of the double.
Yeah. And you don't see, I've never seen either of these players. And I think the vertical ones they're a little later, but you don't see them as much. But it's a team that nobody really likes. Let's see. Yeah, anyone in the chat, let me know your thoughts as well. But I would guess he's probably sold for, before an offer, because I'm sure he did some sort of bundle deal on them. Because I see it refunded. Well, it's probably the shipping you refunded.
Hey,
I would say
looking into my stuff.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You're like scouring my thing for little subtle clues.
Oh wait, there's a price on here? Oh.
Well, no, you can't see it. That's the eBay. I put a little eBay.
Oh yeah, you're right. You showed me okay, but you covered it over. That's a fancy work by you. How'd you do that?
Well, gotta show you. I'll show you sometime. I'll teach you.
No, I'm skills. A Photoshop master. All right, so I would guess you probably had these listed for $22.99 each, but you probably took an offer on them, and I would say you sold them for $16 each, so $32 total.
All right.
So we had 64 from Dan, 45 from Mark.
All right.
You want to play games, Gene? Well, when it's game time, it's pay time, baby.
Had to get you back for
Yes.
for hitting me earlier. Yeah, let me jump to this. So for basically $20 a pop. So I actually had them up for a little more. I think I had them up for 24, maybe 24 a piece or 29 a piece. Can't remember exactly, but yeah. So
what did I guess? What did I guess?
You asked if we could do 40 for both, and so we did that.
I guess 32 or 36. What did I say?
You said 32. You said 16 a piece.
That's pretty close.
Close. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to be that far off on these. These aren't selling for, there's not a huge range on these.
Did you do the
That's why I
calculation?
kind of put
That's not 10%
of.
Did you do the calculation?
Are you really that bad at math? $40. 10%
$36. That's pretty close.
$4. Yeah, but it's not 32.
All right.
Jeez.
All right.
I thought he was good at math too. I guess.
I can calculate doses and stuff. I just can't calculate like 10% of $40. I guess I could. That's pretty easy.
Yeah, it is. All right.
I got one more. Are you on shared?
Sure.
Yeah, you're on shared. All right. I'm throwing a pennant at you on this one.
All right. Let's see if I can redeem myself. Completely redeem myself. All right. Interesting.
Thanks, Harry. Appreciate you coming, man. Thank you very much.
See you, Harry. All right. Pele. 1977.
Yeah, 1977 photo pennant
Got a little
tribute.
crease to it, right? No.
Yeah, a little bit of a bend.
Okay.
Not the end of the world on that, but yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I know it's kind of cool. I've never seen one of these. I didn't see anything in our listing. I have seen some soccer pennants. I I don't think it's that expensive though, to be totally honest. It's kind of cool, but I don't think it's a $70 or $80 pennant personally. So my guess, I think it's a little more than like a $20 pennant. I'm going to go. Yeah, I might even be. No, I think guess is a good guess. And I think I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on this. The real expensive pennants are the ones are old football, baseball teams. Those are the ones that sell for big bucks, and potentially some like where you'll see kind of an upsell is like old ABA teams, things like that. So my guess on this one, I'm going to go $34.99. I think it's, it's not a huge one, but
all right, $34.99. $34.99.
Yeah. I've never looked up a comp on this, so yeah, it'd be interesting.
Oh, Richard! Oh, wow!
I can't be that far off, though, can I?
I had to throw back a little bit on that. We haven't used that one in a little while.
It's true. Oh, whoa! I did not see that coming.
Yeah, I actually had a pair of these in a big buy I made, but
wow,
yeah,
wow, yeah, that's crazy. I never would have guessed that would be that much.
I think I did show a high, like I showed a Pele pennant earlier in this podcast, didn't I? On that sold for, I think I got like 300 for one. That was an earlier one, a little bit of a better one, but these are pretty cool.
Did you see that one by Roman? Roman knocked that one out of the park.
Oh wow, I nailed it! Good job, Roman. For sure.
I mean, Roman may not know good football teams, but he knows Pele pennants. That's for sure.
Well, he probably didn't pick a team, right? He probably grew up, or I don't know. I know.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Right. Oh, there we go. That's yeah.
Good. I just, it's funny because we have some of those like kind of Liverpool and like Premier League pennants. I don't know if you have any in the list, the group that
I saw one recently. Yeah.
They're like kind of almost plasticky. They're kind of weird. They're not super nice, and I don't think that they've sold super well. But
they're like a vinyl, right? They're like vinyl. Yeah, I sold one for like maybe Norwich, Norwich Bayern or something like that. FC Bayern. What's up, Chris? Thanks for hopping in, man. Appreciate that.
Now you speak the truth, Roman. I agree with you. I cannot disagree with you on that. That's some sound logic.
Come on, Roman. That hurts with that one. I'm not going to disagree with your names there. We got to add another flying creature to that. And everyone, check out Chris's YouTube channel as well. Chris is a great YouTube channel.
Cool. All right. Should we wrap this one up with
yes? Yeah, last round
last
here.
Commercial. Okay.
Did I pick for last or did you? I forgot.
I picked, I finished it off now.
Did you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, we can do a quick, brief kind of few on the list, but I think most of mine have been picked. So the only one that I have left that I think is really impactful and very good, and really this is what I was talking about in the stink score for timely. This is the 1984 Apple Macintosh commercial. Do you remember that?
Well, I don't remember it, but I saw it when I was, and it's a pretty cool commercial, but I don't recall seeing it back then. I don't know if you recall it.
Yeah, I was not really old enough to really understand what it was all about.
But you're right, the significance of what that meant for changing technology, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, it was great. It's the first commercial that was that basically shows the Apple computer. Maybe it's a Macintosh. Sorry, it may not be. There may have been other previous computer like Apple computers, but it's a super cool commercial. It's based off of the 1984. If you're familiar with the book, that Ray Bradbury.
Yeah, I love the book. I love that book, 1984.
So it's very, very cool. It's got a post-apocalyptic kind of vibe to it. And it's the first time that they kind of introduced the Apple Macintosh, which, almost 40 years later has turned into what it is today. But that was really like the first time, and it was a Super Bowl commercial. It was a big time one. So there you go.
Yeah.
Finishing it off with that.
I like that pick. I had it on my list for sure. And that I was flirting between that and one other one for my last pick, depending on what you took, obviously.
Yeah.
Pretty cool commercial. Definitely a sort of a dark toned commercial, right? Like
I had a person like running in with like a torch and like a bunch of just people kind of sitting, like staring like blankly, essentially.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah, for sure.
But not funny.
No, not funny at all. But definitely, like I said, historically, more impactful now looking back at it. Than,
yeah. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's like if you look back at like, what's the first commercial of a company? Maybe it wasn't the first commercial. I think it was one. It's the certainly most significant commercial of like, I don't know, Ford, like there's this crazy, like it's so crucial to, I mean, it's one of the biggest companies in the world now. It's very cool. But much like I bet like the first Amazon commercial, but first Amazon commercial, I don't think anybody really remembers that one.
Yeah.
Do that.
All right. So that's a good pick. I'm going to go with a pick that I thought you were talking about last round. And this is probably not like one that jumps out at people, but when I was looking at lists, I came across this and I remembered it when it was on. And I don't think it's that old. It might be like 4 or 5 years ago, but it's another Tide commercial. It's the Tide pen.
Okay.
And the guy's like in an interview and he's answering a guy's question and he's got this like stain on his shirt. And every time he's answering a question, the stain's talking gibberish.
Really? Okay. I do vaguely remember that, but
you got to look it up. It's great.
Okay. I will.
Yeah. And the guy has like the most hideous haircut, which I had the same haircut back in I had to find that picture I have a picture of me bottle feeding a baby squirrel in like 1999. I have this like Caesar haircut.
Oh boy. Yeah. He loved it back then.
It's hideous, but the guy has the same haircut. And, but yeah, he's just like, it's like just shouting louder when he's trying to answer the question. And the interviewer, all he can see is this talking stain that he can't even hear the guy answer the question.
Yeah, that's funny. I vaguely remember that, but I'll have to look it up because I do think it was a funny commercial.
Yeah, definitely took that one out.
Cool.
Talking,
all right.
A Tide stick. I like that this in interview.
Yeah, that's a good one, Mark.
Talking stain. That's what it'll be. Talking stain.
Yeah, at least I don't think either one of our Tide commercials were our sort of notoriety level is super high. California Raisins, that's good. I forgot about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of like all those kind of. I don't know if they were Super Bowl commercial or not. That's what we were talking about. Like, were we picking the best commercial ever or the best thing that we knew was in the Super Bowl?
I think all of ours were in the Super Bowl.
For sure. I mean, there's all those kind of that era of commercials pretty strong with the raisins, the Avoid the Noid. It's a great series back in
Domino's,
the day.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Did you want to go through our? Do you have another?
Yeah, I only have a couple, so it won't be no more segments, so we can just do our honorary mentions.
I have a couple interesting ones. But you go ahead if you want to.
No, you go. I'm going to put the screen back up.
So one that I thought about, I don't think it was a Super Bowl commercial. Was This Is Your Brain on Drugs? Do you remember that one? Of course.
Yeah, was it the egg? They were frying an egg.
Yeah. That one, I mean, I don't think it was very funny or anything too, obviously, but it was definitely like a pretty well-known one. There's that one. I don't think these were Super Bowl commercials necessarily, but I was thinking like Mars Blackman with Michael Jordan and Bo Knows were two other ones that were like big. I don't think either one of them necessarily were Super Bowl commercials, if I recall, though.
I don't think they were, but
which is one of the reasons I didn't really want to pick them. But the last one I think is and if you haven't seen this one, do yourself a favor and watch this. But I don't think anybody else. I don't think it was a huge one, but it was a Sears commercial and it was this guy who was teaching squirrels how to do his bidding, and then they like turn on him. You've got to watch it.
I got to see that one. I don't think I've seen that.
So he's like taught these squirrels how to do to work. I mean, it was just like so you see like this group of like 10 or 12 squirrels like typing at a computer or something like that, and then they somehow he loses control and they start attacking him. But the best part and the most well-known part about this commercial is the line that he says in it when he goes, there's a squirrel on his face that's like attacking him. And he says, I think this squirrel is mating with my mouth.
What the hell?
I'm telling you, it's a Sears commercial too. I'm telling you,
I'll check it out. Yeah, for sure.
Great commercial. But yeah, I don't think people really know it.
No. I have two, and I was talking to Snow on Instagram about this. That like he, when we're talking about him potentially coming on the show, which it sounds like he's going to, I'm like, you're going to hate my picks, which he always hates our picks, right? And he doesn't really like our picks.
I think he's a little younger than us, so yeah.
Oh no,
he does pick good ones though. He does.
No, yeah, definitely strong picks.
He makes valid points.
But yeah, he's definitely. I don't know how old he is. He might be like 5-7 years younger than us, but maybe more. I'm not sure. But I know he would have picked this, or would have. Why did he pick this? And I didn't love this commercial, but the Jordan versus Bird McDonald's commercial. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was good. Yeah, off the wall, or they're in there playing horse.
Yeah. It just
wasn't funny.
That
may not have been a Super Bowl commercial though.
It was a Super Bowl for sure.
It was okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I like Jordan in it, but Bird is sort of like it's a little awkward in it. I didn't really, and it's not funny. I like a funny commercial.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's a good one. I didn't even think about that one. They're literally, I would say, hundreds of commercials that could fall in this.
For sure.
So and that one's definitely a well-known one.
So Snow, I mentioned that in the honorary mention, just so
if you get this far in the video.
Yeah. And then the next one, the last one for me this is sort of a iconic one, not funny, but Cindy Crawford Pepsi commercial. Remember that one?
Oh yeah.
She pulls up on the side of like a dusty like rest stop, and she gets out and scantily clad, I guess, and there's like two young kids like leering at her. And they comment,
they're like they're the Pepsi, right? They were interested in the Pepsi.
Yeah, like, oh, that's such a beautiful Pepsi can or something, right? Yeah. So, because that was a Cindy Crawford peak popularity back then.
Yeah, no, that's true. I want to say that was like, I think Chris Farley did a similar commercial or something like, not a commercial, but it was like on SNL or something, and they were mocking that commercial in some way. I can see that. Yeah, that jumps out at me. But
that'd be a good draft. The best SNL skits. I don't watch it anymore. Yeah. Back in that day, that was a.
I mean, we're going to be heavily in a certain time. That's good. That's a good one. Actually, I didn't even think about that.
And speaking of Cindy Crawford, Sissy Fitzgerald was the Cindy Crawford of the 1880s. So Mark will enjoy it. Yeah,
it's one to hang up on your wall.
Yeah, pin up right there. But yes, that's a cool.
If you're a great grandfather, it was hanging up on his wall while Cindy Crawford was hanging up on yours.
Is there a tack hole? Let's see. I don't see one.
Cool.
But so that's a fun draft. Good list there. So Andy, what we talked about for next week, at least I don't know if we made this in concrete yet, but we talked about doing our drafting our all NBA team. Right? Remember we talked about that. So not necessarily like we can do it however you want, like your best players that you can draft, or you can try to like strategize and like, make a team that's going to work better together.
I think that's good. I think, that's true. I mean, maybe you don't put Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan in your backcourt. That's kind of
they get a little animosity there.
Anybody on Detroit and all right. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. I know we talked about that. We have a couple other interesting ones too, similar in that vein, where it's like, this is different. It's not like 1 through 5. It's like you have to draft point guard, shooting guard, center, power forward, all that stuff. But and
it gets interesting too when you're blending errors, right? Like we're talking. I mean, for example, Wilt. How does Wilt stack up against today? So there's a lot goes into that, right? Goes into that. So
cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I mean, well, we can maybe lay down some groundwork and we can discuss before and sort of say, but that'll be good. That'll be fun to sort of see what we should do is like at the end we could say, what do you think the score would be between those two teams?
Yeah, I like it. Or some even some simulation.
We could
simulator. Because I was in a fantasy league. I was in a fantasy league back in the day that we drafted players from the 1870s and through the 1880s, and we stimulated it. So
fascinating.
It was fun. I remember my banger catcher was Cal McVeigh. He was great, and Candy Cummings. He was a great pitcher for me.
That's
I think he invented. You know what he's famous for?
Oh, I always thought that was also a pinup.
No, I think he invented the curveball, I believe.
Oh, all right.
One or the other. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They didn't have the shoe game back in the 60s. Yeah.
Yeah, we might have to normalize some stuff, like in terms of, because some people didn't have the 3-point line. All that stuff is kind of taken into account. And
sure,
we got to figure out when are we playing. So maybe there's some stuff that we'll have to work out before the thing, but we'll let everybody know.
Sounds like I was right with Mark on the curveball. Yeah. Andy, we have like a few minutes left. Do you want to give a prediction? Did you have a Super Bowl prediction?
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
better be the Chiefs.
As much as I'd like to agree with you, I don't think that they're going to win. I think San Francisco, unfortunately, is a better team overall. Plus, they have a couple weeks to get a little more healthy. Because I know he seemed pretty healthy against Detroit, but
I don't think they were really that unhealty. I mean, he's just soft. He's soft. But I know Kansas City is banged up too. They lost their pass rusher, right? And
they also, Thurney or what's their interior guard or tackle? I forget. He's a big player too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I don't think that I don't think the Chiefs have the game that beats the San Francisco. Like, you have to run on San Francisco. And I don't know that they have
Pacheco's been running hard.
He does, but he's like, I don't know that their line is as good to do that. So
I think the key in this game is how the 49ers are going to, if they pound the ball. I know the Chiefs like to play a smaller defense. They play a lot more D-backs. Maybe they did that against Lamar Jackson to try to contain Lamar. But if they try to do that against San Francisco, and San Francisco is just going to say, we're going to put our use check in there. We're going to just pound you with McCaffrey. I mean, that could really change the game a lot in their favor. But I don't think they're going to stop the Chiefs offense. I think Mahomes is going to do what he wants to do against them. And I think Purdy's going to be Purdy. Purdy's going to throw 2 picks. Two picks. Right. I'm going to try to lay that on FanDuel Sports right now.
Chiefs
they got a good front.
Yeah,
Chris Jones. Chris Jones is everywhere. Yeah, and so
Chiefs defense is way better than the Lions. So we'll see.
I'm going score-wise. Think of a score. Okay. I'm going 31-17 Chiefs. Blowout.
Okay. I'm going to go 34-28 San Francisco.
All right. And what is the line? I know the 49ers are favored. I think by a little. I think
a couple, like 2 or 3 points. I think last I saw, but maybe.
Which I heard a Vegas guy talking about that. They factor so much in year long because Kansas City's trending upwards. 49ers on a downward trend the last couple of games, right? They should have lost both playoff games. Now they have a couple weeks that whether that helps them or hurts them, we'll see. But the Chiefs were poor early on, and they're trending upwards. So
yeah. I mean, and it's hard to bet against. I mean, it's very hard to root against Mahomes in the Super Bowl. So
yeah.
All right, so let's mark it down, right? We have to make sure that we have this set in stone, and winner. Since we're on opposing teams, maybe that's how we decide who picks first next week.
I'm happy with that. Yeah, so 30. I said 31-17. What did you say?
I said 34-28.
I'm going to put it on our.
I sure as hell hope that's not the case, Roman. That would be
34-28.
I turn off that game. Yeah.
Okay.
But I say whoever wins. I mean, since we're picking different teams, whoever wins picks first next week.
All right. I like it.
All right.
I like it, and we'll put $50 on it.
This will be a good battle because I think the winner of whoever wins this is going to have a good advantage.
Oh, that is a big pick next week.
Yeah,
that is a big pick. I like it.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. Well, guys, we're going to see you next week. We're going to, again, all NBA draft next week. Thank you for watching. Tune in for we're looking at my community post to vote to who won this draft. And also I'll have it on my Instagram story. We already have a winner vote there. We already have a winner. But give us some time, Dan. Give us some time to digest the picks.
Dan, I feel like we're kindred spirits now. I think you could see where I'm coming from on a lot of mine. So
yeah.
But great hanging out with you guys. See you next week.
Peace, everyone. See you. Go Chiefs.
San Francisco.